Very sad news, folks. Jim Brown passed away. The news just came up about 15 minutes ago. He is the greatest running back in pro football history. He has set many, many records. He only played 9 years in the NFL. He managed to rack up the following records. He played from 1957 through 1965, and he was named in 2002 by the Sporting News as the greatest football player in history. Jim Brown, who was taken the first round 1957 NFL draft by the Cleveland Browns, had departed holding the following records when he left the playing field as follows. Single season rushing record, 1,863 yards in 1963. Career rushing, 12,312 yards, as well as the all-time leader in rushing touchdowns, 106. Total touchdowns, 126. And all-purpose yards, 15,549. And he was the first NFL player ever to reach the 100-yard rushing touchdowns milestone, 100 touchdown milestone, and only a few others have done so since, as you know, like Jerry Rice. And that's even with the league expanding to a 16 season and now 18 games, a 16 game and now 18 game season. He did this in 12 games. 12 games. He holds the record for total seasons leading the NFL in all-purpose yards, 5. From 1958 to 1961, and then in 60 through 64. And he's the only rusher in NFL history to average over 100 yards per game for his entire career. In addition to his rushing, Brown was a superb receiver out of the backfield. He had 262 receptions for 2,499 yards and 20 touchdowns, and added another 628 yards returning kickoffs. He was voted into the Pro Bowl every year that he played, each year of the 9 years that Jim Brown played. He was a model for the effective, responsible, respectable, giant athlete who could change a game through his running. Jim Brown's running was so effective that Tom Landry was compelled to design something called the flex defense because Landry could not fathom how one person could rush for more yards than an entire team. Mathematically, it didn't make sense to him. But that was Jim Brown. Jim Brown did a lot of things that didn't make sense to us normal human beings. Jim Brown was not a normal human being. After leaving football, he became an actor, playing in such movies as The Dirty Dozen, and he became a great spokesperson for American Black young men in the inner city, and called for greater care, greater responsibility shown to them by law enforcement and other institutions, and also better behavior on the part of us. Jim Brown had reached a point in his life where just the utterance of his name implied respect. And now he is gone from us, on his way to heaven, but will always be a part of our lives, certainly mine. I have not had the pleasure of meeting Jim Brown. I always thought he would be around for that to happen. And now it's not. If there's one thing that I can ask everybody to do. It's to donate to his foundation, American. Find out more about the man. Or if you're going to play football and you're a youngster, copy his running style. But copy the man. And he carried himself with a quiet dignity. Now, none of us are perfect. He certainly wasn't, but this is not about that. Because we're always striving to get better, and Jim was always that. Always striving to be a better person, always striving to be a better man, always striving to be a better contributor to the human condition. That's Jim Brown. All right. I look forward to your comments. May he rest in peace.